Today on Herndon Live, we're going to give you a wrap-up of the election results right here in the town of Herndon and also around the country.
Also, we have a little treat, politically related. It's the Joe Biden memes that have been all over the internet as of lately.
That's right, those stories and more as Herndon Live gets underway. And thanks so much for joining us on this Friday afternoon. I'm Jack Norcross alongside Mark Seaman. Thanks so much for joining us, Mark.
Nice to be back after a long time.
I know. I guess it has been quite a while. Well, we have a lot going on today in the world of politics and what have you. Let's begin, though, with some of our the new information we're getting at this hour. We're just getting information that Donald Trump has settled the Trump University case for $25 million, Mark. This was obviously a case where basically it was Donald Trump was accused of basically having this fake school, this fake university, but the goal of the university originally was to convince and teach different people how to
conduct business.
How to conduct business and how to, you know, be a successful real estate mogul and agent like Donald Trump himself,
Yes.
but it turned out to be a scam. And here's what we're getting. Today's $25 million settlement agreement is a stunning reversal by Donald Trump and a major victory for the 6,000 victims, apparently, of this fraudulent scam. And basically saying Donald Trump will pay $1 million in penalties to the state of New York for violating state education laws. And the victims of Trump University have waited years for these results. This is a quote that I'm reading from now. Most of the money, it says, will go to the former Trump University students who paid about $1,500 for a three-day seminar, or as much as a $35,000 I guess, tuition for an in-person mentorship. So there, I guess it sounds like there was varied levels of the case. What do you make of this, Mark? And do you think this is going to hurt him as he becomes president in 2 months, I guess?
Well, this has been something that has plagued President-elect Trump from almost from the beginning of his campaign. I believe when he was still running the primaries. Correct me if I'm wrong. Marco Rubio, former candidate, had brought it up, kind of shed the whole thing like a new public light, and kind of stuck with him until the very end of the campaign. As to whether or not this will hurt President-elect Trump, I can't say, because we've said, everybody was completely shocked by what happened on Tuesday. May not hurt him now that it's finally been settled. Of course, there are still a plethora of other issues that are still facing him. So it's definitely possible that one of those issues, as well as actions he takes in the months leading up to and following his inauguration, I believe that is what will show President-elect Trump's competence.
Right. All right, well, a lot of news there, but we just want to talk about a little bit more about the election. We had an election special the Wednesday following the election, just over a week and a half ago. But let's go ahead and take a look at our next slide here. And this look like what the electoral map is going to be. But you see, if we go to our next slide here, or zoom out for the TV below, as you can see here, if we put that up full screen, Mark, it's, we see that Donald Trump would, won, and it looks like he's about at 306 electoral votes right now. But as you can see, Michigan is kind of that lighter pink. That's because Michigan has still not been projected at this point.
Yes.
And not that it'll make a difference, because I hate to tell for some of our viewers who were big Hillary supporters, it wouldn't even make a difference. But as you can see, this Michigan up here is that lighter pink color. And that is why it is, because it has not been projected. But Mark, 306 electoral votes. I didn't get the chance to talk to you about the election. But I mean, basically all the polls leading up to the election were saying, this is going to be, perhaps a landslide victory for, excuse me, Hillary Clinton. But it turned out to, turn in Donald Trump's favor.
And if not a landslide, then at least a solid victory, I believe is what they were saying. Now, to answer for why this was, in a way, a landslide for Trump instead of for President-elect Trump, I believe that a lot of polls either were barely taking notice of or completely neglecting was the hidden Trump vote. Because there were many polls that were taken from different locations, I believe. I don't know exactly how they poll 100%, but how I understand it. And
it's random phone, the national polls,
random
phone dialing, meaning they just have these random numbers generated, and this is who they end up calling.
Yes. And I believe there was one particular newspaper, I can't at the moment recall which particular newspaper that it was, but they were always polling consistently the same group of people. So they were constantly getting changing opinions, and this was in a concentrated area, so they could see like how it was tipping. And I believe they were the only poll that showed President-elect Trump winning the election.
Right.
And in regards to the whole Michigan not having yet declared, I'd like to point out that this is almost a deja vu of what happened in 2012, where Florida had not been called until about a week or two after the election.
Right. And as we put the map up full screen again, some of these key states that were not expected was Pennsylvania, as you can see right there. Pennsylvania was key to his winnings. But also Michigan was really important because, Mark, Michigan was not, was barely even in the picture for Donald Trump to win. What do you think, what part of this kind of Trump sweep was missed in Michigan? Well, what did the pollsters not collect or understand?
I believe, I can't speak for what the pollsters didn't collect, but what I can almost safely say that a lot of people, including myself, had not accounted for that Michigan has a lot of blue-collar voters, a lot of factory workers, and that is exactly the base that President-elect Trump was hoping to secure, and eventually he did. And another thing I'd like to bring up other than Michigan was Wisconsin.
That's what
people
I was saying.
say
Did
that
I say Michigan? I meant to say Wisconsin.
Well,
sorry.
Well, we're talking about both. They're neighboring states,
right.
So close enough.
Good friends.
So it's like people, both campaigns had kind of neglected that part of the country. I believe they only brought up Michigan until like 3 days before the election. And we later found out that Hillary Clinton never even went to Wisconsin once during the entire campaign run. The last time she was there was when she beat Bernie Sanders in the primaries.
Yeah, so as we know, let's talk about President-elect here, Donald Trump. He's basically been in Trump Tower for a while, and working with his different advisors, trying to put together the best team that will basically help him and support his role in the White House. So we do know a couple of the members, and some people who are being nominated have to get congressional approval before all of this. But here's some of the people we do know, beginning with Reince Priebus. And Mark, he was the chair of the RNC, and he has been tapped by Donald Trump to be chief of staff. Is this a smart move, do you think, for him? Will this kind of tie Donald Trump back to his kind of conservative roots?
I believe it's a smart choice in terms of policy. I think that Reince Priebus is definitely an experienced, he's definitely experienced in his field. However, one thing that could be a turnoff to some of President-elect Trump's supporters was that he always says, "I'm going to drain the swamp. I'm going to drain the swamp. I'm going to get rid of the establishment. I'm going to reject the establishment." Reince Priebus, ironically, is part of the establishment, so I find that kind of ironic.
But I mean, Reince Priebus hasn't really held a big, government position. He's just been, tapped by the National Party. Another person who's really, causing some questionable comments about is some questionable comments he made was Steve Bannon, who is the former head of Breitbart, which is kind of what they call an alt-right news organization. And some people, especially Democrats, are just alarmed at the fact that he is that he is the chief strategist advising Donald Trump on some of the biggest policy issues.
Well, I can definitely say, in my opinion, I think having Steve Bannon chosen as the chief strategist is a very, very, very bad idea. Because Steve Bannon, I think, is not who President-elect Trump should be aligning himself with. I think he's a very conservative, very controversial views, very just hot-headed. So in my opinion, I think it was probably the choice that turned a lot of people, including, I believe, was Bernie Sanders, who said that we will give Donald Trump a chance to lead the country.
Right. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is his Attorney General pick. This has got to get congressional approval. This is Senator Jeff Sessions, who's the first senator current senator to support Donald Trump. But he has, some of his own problems as well, referring to white supremacy, as Steve Bannon has inferred or implied. Do you think this Senator Sessions could get approval?
He certainly could. I believe that Jeff Sessions, although he does have certain ties or accusations of displaying white supremacy views, he has served in Washington for considerable amount of time.
Sure.
And I think that his experience, in a way, almost outweighs his allegations. Now, of course, it could all change when it all comes down to vote, but as it stands now, it doesn't look like there's going to be a problem.
Right. And finally, another announcement made today was the CIA director, who it looks like he's going to be Representative Mike Pompeo. This is somebody who's been in the House for a couple of years, and it looks like he's going to be the CIA director. So that's pretty interesting.
Yes.
Anything to add there, Mark?
Well, I have to admit, I'm not entirely familiar. I've heard the name. I've heard of Representative Mike Pompeo. I haven't heard anything specific. He does not have any controversy attached to his name.
Right.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of quite yet, but he is kind of part of that Tea Party.
Yeah, definitely,
group.
like a little more to the right than a lot of representatives are.
All right, well, sounds good. Well, we're now going to throw it over to Mia Merkeloff. She is in our weather center and has the latest weather for us, and even for the next, even has the weather for Thanksgiving, which will be interesting.
And Black Friday.
Yeah, and Black Friday, that's right.
Okay, the weather. This is the welcome to the weather segment for today and the rest of the week, including Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Today's weather has been with a high of 71 and a low of 42, so not that chilly yet. It hasn't rained at all today, but we already know this is true. We've experienced it. There isn't. I didn't put a moon. I put a sun. As for tomorrow's weather, the weekend look is Saturday is going to be a high of 65 and a low of 33. And Sunday is also it's going to be a high of 45 with a low of 29, which is a drastic temperature drop. But the weather up above will remain the same. Same will be definitely cloudy. For the 7-day outlook, it's going to be cloudy, cloudy, cloudy through the weekend and Monday. So you wake up to clouds on your Monday morning, not sun, which basically reflects today. It basically reflects the mood for going back to the work and school week. Tuesday will be sunny for a change. Wednesday is going to be partly cloudy. Thursday is going to be scattered showers, and Friday is going to be partly cloudy. It's basically going to be after Saturday, it'll be in the 40s and 50s all week, with lows in the 20s and 40s and 30s. As for Thanksgiving, high of 50 and a low at 37, scattered showers around this area. So if you're staying in this area for Thanksgiving, You won't be able to take you really won't be able to take a walk before or after dinner because it's probably going to be raining. And again, it's only 50% chance. Black Friday weather. I figured a lot of people would want to go Black Friday shopping, and they have good weather for it. It's sunny, but not too sunny, so you won't have to worry about getting your pass game wet as you travel from car to store. Okay. And that is all for the weather for next week.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mia. It looks like it should be, at least a nice day for Black Friday. Maybe if it even isn't that nice for Thanksgiving Day, but
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
Yeah, thank you a lot, Mia. All right, so next up we have our Road to College segment. This is something that we've been doing periodically since summer, really.
Yeah.
For college, it's been, well, people have already submitted their early apps. A lot of people are getting in their regular decision coming up in December 1st. So right now we're just going to be talking about ways that you can track your college materials and making sure that you're getting everything in on time. Now, it's been said that almost 80% of applicants who apply to a certain school do it incorrectly. That is that's one of the main reasons why people get rejected. It's because they don't fill in all the requirements, they don't do a writing supplement, they don't do the financial aid, something like that. So it's really important that, especially if this is a school that you really want to go to, that you create like a checklist or you keep track of everything that you do need. So what about you, Jack? Do you have any like processes that you've been using to keep track of everything?
To make sure to check up, after you've submitted your application, most schools have an online portal that you can use. So basically, after you apply to a school, within a couple of business days, the school will send you kind of some login information for their own website. And on that, once you log in, it'll tell you, what do you have, what has the school received, and maybe what does the school need. So it's a great way of kind of keeping track of, making sure everything gets in. And sometimes, I know we were talking earlier today, sometimes things are marked that you don't have them, but it's important that you, follow up with an email or something to make sure that they, do have something, but they just didn't mark that they had it on the online system. So that's pretty important. But I know another thing that's, that is coming around is also honors college applications and honors programs at many different schools. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Well, honors programs are a lot of places have like early action. Normally, if you submit early action, you are automatically in their honors program. Sometimes honors programs require you to do something extra, like an essay or something of that sort. So since the deadlines are earlier, it's really important that you get them in earlier. Even earlier than the suggested deadline. Say it's due December 1st, try to get it in sometime midway through November. Because I know if you're applying to like a really big school, for me, I'm applying to USC, they even emailed me asking for me to provide my materials sooner rather than the deadline, because they're just going to be overflowing with these applications. So it's really important that people are getting them in early. They get more of a priority if they do submit it earlier, because that's how they review them. They don't review it by alphabetical order, they review it by when you apply. So it's really important that you get it in as soon as you can, particularly for honors programs or any scholarships. That's another thing. Scholarships, it's around the time where people are thinking about that, and the FAFSA and the CSS profile, those opened up very recently, October 1st. So people can go ahead and start doing that, and it's really important that you communicate with your parents on this, because most of the information is about your parents' their tax returns and stuff like that. So talk to them in advance, make sure that they have everything together, all the information that they need to fill out. And
yeah, and oftentimes, honors programs, give you a substantial amount of scholarship money too. Some honors programs say if you get into the honors program, which can be pretty, restricted in the people who they accept, they'll give you half tuition or something. So pretty major. So that's kind of one way. And also honors programs is a great way to kind of maybe kind of set a higher bar for yourself. Maybe if you're applying to maybe one of your safety schools that you're applying to, you can maybe apply to the honors program to make the curriculum more rigorous, or also, show that you have potential maybe after you leave college too, that you kind of took that extra step in, interest and whatnot. And some of the honors program and scholarships become available to you after you are already accepted into the school. So after you are accepted in the school, you could be invited by the school, or become more aware of different scholarships and different opportunities to give you tuition help throughout your 4 years.
And a lot of this, as Jack mentioned before, is about communicating with your counselors, making sure that you are doing everything that you possibly can. And when I say this, I'm not just talking about safety schools, but the schools that you really, really, really want to get into. It's really important that you're communicating with people who are going to be reviewing your applications, so that way they know that it means something to you, and that you're thorough. A big mistake that people make is that they don't submit things when they're supposed to, or they just don't submit it at all because they don't know that they have to. Even if you're sure that you have everything in, it's really important that you go ahead and shoot your counselor an email and let them know, or just touch base and say, hey, did I get all my materials in, stuff like that. And again, financial aid, if you haven't done it already, now's the time. I know my brother and I already got that out of the way. So, and if you had a job, or if you made a lot of money this year or last year, it's important that you have your files all together also. And it's a doozy. So it's really important that you really put in a lot of time and effort organizing all this material, so that way you have it ready when you're filling everything out.
Right. Well, yeah, that's just some more of advice. And we're also going to, throughout this series, we're also going to be talking about, what to do about once you get these, acceptance letters, because for some early action schools, or even early decision schools, you'll know if you've gotten into the school, midway through December. So we'll be talking about the review process, and also what to be looking for, maybe if it's either your first time going to look at the school that you got into, or the second time looking at it as a real potential school that you'll be attending. So we'll be talking all about that in the coming weeks, so that should be great. Well, now we're going to move on to some Biden memes. Now, this has been a kind of phenomenon on the internet, and it's kind of all based off of different photos of Joe Biden, the vice president, and his time in office at the White House. And they include photos of a lot of President Obama cameos, I guess you could say, making an appearance.
Funny.
They're really funny.
They are my favorite things on the internet right now. These guys know, because we have a group chat on Facebook. I sent in like 12 of them.
Right. A lot of these, I think, are yours.
And most of them are. Yeah, they're so funny. I mean, if you have free time, just like Google it, and they're hilarious.
All right, well, let's zoom out of the camera here, or pull them up here. We got our first one. Here's the first one. We're going to be kind of talking about each of them individually.
I'm
here. Mark is back joining us. Okay, this one says, Biden, hey Barack, check out what the internet did. Obama, LOL. Biden, these actually aren't bad ideas. We should try. No, Joe. No, Joe. And I think that the pictures, really capture the moment, because I mean, what else would Obama be putting his arm on?
Just like
nice try, but maybe not this time.
Yeah. The thing about these is, I mean, because they're facial reactions, and everyone knows that they have just like a great friendship. I mean, they talk about it all the time in interviews about how close they are, and it's adorable. And then it really shows through in these pictures, like how friendly they are. And yeah, definitely when you're like reading these memes, look at the picture for reference and really just picture how that scenario went.
Picture's half of it.
It's so funny. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, really funny. All right, here's our next one. I think this could be one of my favorites, but this one, it's kind of an inside joke. But Obama whispers to Joe Biden. You can see Joe Biden is a little disappointed, and Obama kind of has that stern face on, but he says, "Put the laser pointer away, or give it to me."
Yes, and this is, as Jack mentioned, an inside joke at HCTV, because we have a member here at HCTV who just loves to play around with the laser pointer.
Point his laser pointer wherever he can.
Would always point it at the back of your head for some reason.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that
Me
either.
neither. So
yeah, again, funny. the scenario is super funny because this is obviously a very serious
I
meeting.
know, they're
and
probably, it looks like they're at the UN or something.
I know,
They're having
and
some
Joe is
They
real
even
like-
have
serious-
official
Joe
U.S.
is
president.
crestfallen.
I know. Oh,
He's
geez.
like,
It's
"God
just so
darn."
funny at these captured moments. All right, let's take a look at our next one here. All right, here we go. It says, Biden, can I use
Oh,
the
I love
bat
this one.
signal? Obama says, Joe, I already told you I'm not Batman. Biden, Gotham needs you. Please stop.
Please stop. You
But
can
just-
even just his hand motions. Just please,
Right.
Yeah.
Joe.
And I'm going to go and look back to see,
No.
what was going on in these. I mean, I'm sure this incident that we're looking at here was some,
No.
major national security crisis.
If you
or
guys are
something.
looking at this, it's not even just it's funny because Obama's face is so like upset, obviously, and I don't know what they were talking about, but Joe does not seem upset at all.
He's just like very
he
like
seems like he's having he's just sitting back enjoying Obama's like pain or something.
Yeah.
I find it hilarious.
Also I was thinking about this, maybe it's, and this is the picture of the next one, but maybe Biden, I'm just being more realistic. Maybe, Biden just told Obama some good news or bad news. Obama's still processing it, but Biden has already processed it. He's just kind of
yeah.
has that
Bad
sad
news.
look.
Maybe
I think
it's like
I think it's bad
maybe
news.
it's good news, and then Obama's trying really hard not to laugh.
Maybe he's just tired and
I
it's
don't
just went
think
like
so, but
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
all
sorry.
right, let's move on to our next one here. The next one is Biden says, "I'm gonna throw this wig into the fireplace." Joe, don't. 1 Horcrux down, 6 to go.
Now you need to have read or watched the Harry Potter.
Thank you, Mark. Can you please explain that? I didn't get this one because I didn't like Harry Potter.
So basically, to defeat Lord Voldemort, you have to destroy seven
Horcruxes.
Horcruxes, which are like magical artifacts. And once you destroy all of them, then he is
He becomes
defeated.
vulnerable. He can be
Yeah, and then he gets
killed otherwise.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just thinking about this. Instead of Jack reading Obama and Biden's roles, can we have like Mark and Jack doing
Okay.
it back and
All
forth?
right.
I know that there's one where it's not Obama speaking to Biden; it's someone else.
Okay, the
Yeah.
next one you're gonna have. You can be the secretary. The next one.
Oh, I
All right,
can be the
we're doing a
secretary.
little role.
Great.
I don't know Joe Biden's voice, but I'll try and make
It
one.
doesn't have to be.
A little growly. All right, here's the next one here.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Read it out
All right.
loud.
Mr. Biden, Nighthawk.
What is it, Martha?
What was that? I wasn't that Mark. Not
I don't.
okay.
Not that deep.
Okay, all right.
It took me a couple of times to read this one because I was like, what? Because just kind of reading it, you don't get it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Biden
Oh,
wants to
he
be called
o-
Nighthawk.
he
and
only
responds
responds to Nighthawk.
So
I'll try a better
cute.
Biden voice.
And again,
Okay.
the picture. This is probably my favorite picture of all the memes of just Biden looking dramatically out the White
You
House window.
could. You have
I
like
find that hilarious.
an endless amount of possibilities. You
There's
can do with
so
just
many
that one
things you could
picture.
all right, and we have another one using this picture too. And who am I? I'm Obama.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay, but we have to move on now.
But how will Santa know where to deliver my presents?
He's not Southern.
I
I'll
don't
tell
know.
I'll tell him.
I'll tell him.
Obama always does
so
this.
sad.
He always speaks like this. He's like,
Yeah, kind of like how Trump
Yeah.
always does that.
yeah. Trump always does. He takes. I'm gonna teach you a little bit. Can we get a camera close on my hands here because there is a very key point of mastering Donald Trump here. Okay, here we go. Oh wow, this is close. But you take the hand. All right, here's the hand. You put your point. Everybody can do it with me. You put your pointer finger down. You kind of put it halfway down. All right.
All right.
You turn your hand,
Okay.
and there you go. We're gonna build a big wall.
No,
this is
you
how he
gotta
does
be
it.
like,
You just huge.
No.
China doesn't want us. A huge wall. Anyway, but Obama kind of has always done this thing where he kind of grips his hand and goes, "Yeah, let
Kinda
me
like-
give you the fox."
like he's
Let
whipping.
me give you the fox, or kind of like, and he goes, All right, so
All
anyway,
right,
I'm
so
teaching
next
you
one
well.
means
All right,
this
next one.
This one, when I've asked other people, they said that it was their favorite. Not this one, sorry,
Oh,
but the previous
sorry.
one, the Santa one.
Yeah.
we'll go back.
Because yeah,
Oh, sorry. Okay, go
I
back.
don't because a lot of people said that because there's like an ongoing, excuse me,
Going.
not ongoing joke that
Unjoing.
that Biden is like a child and Obama acts like his dad sometimes. Like there are so many memes. We didn't put in that many here. This is just one example of where Obama's sort of like acting like a father figure and Biden's just being whiny, like, oh man, like,
Oh man.
yeah, aw. So yeah, that's just the run-on joke with that one. Anyway,
That's good. All right, next one. Here's the one with Hillary. All right, this is Emily and Mark. Go ahead.
Okay. What if I just played it from my phone real quick?
we're not playing the Imperial March when he gets here, Joe.
Oh, that's pretty funny. I think, yeah, Mark, cut the accent. All right, that's a good one. All right, we got to keep moving on here. All right,
Yeah,
here's the
again.
next one.
All right.
And it is.
This one I love.
Go ahead, Mark. That's you.
I left a bag of Cheetos in the bathroom
Why?
just in case he needs to powder his nose.
Joe. This
No,
is
it's not just Joe, it's Joe.
Joe.
Like,
Joe.
oh, it's kind of like, oh, Joe.
Or it could be like, Joe, we don't have time for this.
Joe, what are you
But this, if you don't get it, it's referring to Donald Trump coming to the White House and how he, kind of gives off an orange look. So that's
I never
the
noticed.
joke there.
Oh, really? Well,
Maybe you should pay more attention, Mark. I don't know. All right, here's the next one, and go ahead,
Oh boy, his car is here. Quick, let's all hide.
Joe, please.
and again, this one, I mean, when I first read it, I thought it was boring, but then I looked at the picture and
He's just like,
Yeah.
I thought the picture was funny.
Obama looks kind of busy, but Biden, yeah,
he's
he kinda
just
looks
like, Joe,
excited. Yeah,
please.
It's like, Joe, I
Yeah.
don't have time for this.
right.
And Joe's just...
Just like a giddy boy waiting for Santa.
Again, I don't know what it is with Joe in that window. Like, he's always looking out at finding some sort of inspiration or something.
I guess,
But,
or maybe he's posing for the photographer.
oh, yeah,
You know,
maybe
he's like,
that's the same one.
Pete Souza, who's the photographer.
Looks
at the White
really
House.
excited to see that photographer.
I know, no kidding, or whoever's out that window. All right, here's the next one we got. All right, and it says, go ahead, Mark.
Yes, that was me.
Please stop.
I will not stop. This room will smell so bad when he gets here.
Joe,
Nope.
Okay, and again, this is the same picture that we've seen before, except this time it's insinuating that Joe has been farting and Obama is covering his nose. So, and again, Joe sort of has that smug look on his
know.
face.
Just
He's
like,
like,
I think it's a tragedy. I hate to tell you that this picture originated from a tragedy, but I don't know. But I think it's good smug. All right, here's our next one.
So, when Trump walks in, you duck, and I sock him with,
No, Joe.
he looks so
That looks so
He's so
ready.
determined,
So
just like-
ready.
eager to throw
I
the
know.
ball.
If he wasn't going to be a vice president, I think maybe he would be an NFL player because he just looks ready.
And a
He
ball-
always looks ready or excited to play the game. I
Yeah.
don't know. So,
Anyways,
That's that.
super fun.
all right, I think we only got a few more.
only a few more.
This is the last one. Oh, no, we have a few more. Okay.
Oh my God, sorry.
Obama.
Oh.
Joe, please stop trying to sneak up on me during press conferences. Joe, I can hear you humming the Jaws theme. This is good.
This one's probably my second
This
favorite.
is what, I don't know. I mean, Biden's leaning over, and Obama kind of looks like he's saying hi to some people, like, "Hey."
Why is Joe like that? Why does he look like that?
Maybe he's looking for his friend. I don't know. It kind of looks. You could do one about him looking for something or something, because that's what he's.
No, he looks like he's looking at Obama. Like
Just
he,
like,
he does look like he's trying to sneak up on him. So
something going on there.
anyway, that one's super funny because I can just picture him humming the Jaws theme. Anyway, next.
All right, here's the next one. Okay, I'll be Trump. Can I get past?
What's the password?
I don't know.
Loser says what?
What?
Joe!
That's.
I took over your
What?
role as Obama.
China is stealing our jobs. I
All
can't do
right.
it today. Anyway.
Again, the picture I find to be the funniest thing here. I don't really quite understand what's going on with the dialogue, but the picture. I
Loser say
find
what? It's like the thing with your thing where you go, "Hey, what's all that?" And then you look down and you go, "Oh."
Yeah, like your shoes untied.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, my mic just fell off.
Joe Biden in this picture was the inspiration I took for the role as the bouncer in your old short
yeah,
film.
Funny. Anyway, again, Joe just has this smug look on his face all the time, which is great.
Little fishy. All right. All right. Well, let's get on to our Herndon live polls here, and we got some great questions for you. And thank you so much to the 187 of you who voted. And we're also expecting a call. Sorry, my mic. A call from Allie Cassray soon, so we'll be talking to her. I'm actually going to text her live on TV because. Are
Because
you
that's
ready?
super
Because
professional.
she, her show is tonight. If we don't get to talk to her, we'll talk about it at the end. But it's Inspector General, but we'll get to that in a second. All right, so
exciting.
187 votes though. Let's get started with the poll questions. All right, here's our first poll question here today. Hello. The first question is: do you like daylight savings? Now we got some correctional feedback here. Technically, daylight saving itself is in the summer,
Summer,
you turn
yeah.
that into the
Yeah.
summer. So I don't know what's called on daylight savings, I guess. But it's kind of like a daylight saving question, I guess, and it's not plural. It's apparently singular. Daylight saving. Anyway, let's go around. Mark, what do you think about daylight saving?
I don't like it. I think it's redundant. I think everybody on Earth could live without it. I think it's just there, unnecessary.
I personally love it. I mean, for this time of year. Listen, hear me out. So there's early birds like Jack, and then there's night owls like me. I get more work done for some reason when it's dark or when it's night, because I feel more pressured that I have to sleep, so then I feel like, oh my God, I have to get work done. So I like to work under stress. It's not that I like to, it's just I do work under stress. So I get more done when it's dark, and also in the mornings it's not as cold because the sun is out sooner and it's a lot warmer, and so yeah. When I walk
point.
to the bus, it's warmer outside. And then when I come home and it gets cooler, I'm just inside, so I don't really
I
care.
kind of like waking up in the dark, actually.
Really,
so
I
that's-
like waking up and it's
Really?
light outside. It's amazing.
All right, well, let's take a look at what the rest of the town of Herndon had to say about this. The
Anyone
question
else
is,
with
hello,
me?
what's so slow? Do you like daylight saving was the question, and let's take a look at our results here. And then out of our 45 people who voted, it looks like a majority said
wow.
no, 64%.
Yeah, but that's
Sorry,
kind of
Emily.
representative of this.
Yeah,
like 2 to 3.
that would be
2 to 1.
66 to 33, so
Yeah.
that's almost
Yeah.
perfect. So that's pretty impressive. So I guess we're a good representative sample for this question. All right, here's our next question here, and this has been getting a lot of attention. But do you agree with the protest? Now, there's obviously been quite a few protests around the country.
As a matter of fact, there was a walkout today, which no one really
there
did.
was?
Yes,
Really?
there was. Actually,
at Herndon?
almost my entire class walked out. But then they came back like 10 minutes later, so it was very
What
strange.
class was this? What class?
This was Mr. Brown's, like the free
Oh, the
like,
study
hall thing. It was study hall. so
We
that's
didn't
what I
walk
did.
out. We just played apples to apples.
Yeah, we just played Apple Stuff when everyone else left. Anyway, so yeah.
But there's a lot of protests.
And the reason why we kept this question ambiguous is because what are they protesting? A lot of us don't know.
Yeah. So, Mark, do you understand what they're protesting, and do you agree with
specifically.
what they're protesting? Maybe.
I do, but I don't. The message is clear in the sense that they don't want President-elect Trump to be President Trump. However, I think the message is unclear as to like what is the alternative? What's your goal? Do you think it's actually going to work? Do you think that this is going to go anywhere? It seems like you get what they're saying, but it's like you don't agree with how they're doing it. You know what I mean?
So yeah, let me just explain real quick. Jack just totally walked off.
Yeah. Sorry, we're
left,
getting
but-
keep finishing
Let
your
me
discussion.
just
Yeah, go
explain.
ahead.
He's preparing a phone call with Ali Casare. So he's going to be talking. Oh, I'm looking here now. Jack is going to be talking with Ali as soon as she gets on the phone. But Mark and I are going to continue and talk about this poll. So do you agree?
I'd say their message is unclear because, yeah.
This is, again, a lot of people, I mean, since it's an anonymous poll, people are going to be answering more honestly, and I'm going to go ahead and answer honestly on camera. Personally, no, I don't agree with protesting. I think that it's great that people do. Personally, it's not something that I would do because especially the form that these protests are taking on. If it's like civil disobedience, I can totally agree with it. If it's violence, beating up a senior citizen, anything of that nature, I can't say that I agree with it. I do think that it's great that people are going out and making their voices heard and that it's becoming, people are unifying and coming together to talk about this, but just the way that certain areas are going about it is not okay.
Yeah, and I like kind of add on to what you're saying. Like, it's great how people are allowing their voices to be heard, and they're coming together. I think it would be more beneficial if if they came together like to like do more political action. Do you know what I mean? Because they're clearly like they're clearly angry, and they want change, but I don't think protesting in the streets is really going to accomplish that change. You need to go the Democratic route, and not saying the Democratic Party, but like the Democratic route where you have to go out and vote, you have to make signs. I mean, you have to like get politicians that agree and and hold your beliefs just as dearly as you hold yours.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at the results for that poll. Do you agree with the protests?
I'm going to say that most say yes.
Yeah, so it was the majority of,
Oh.
Oh wow, it's actually
Oh.
almost 50-50 for yes versus no.
Yeah.
So there is a decent amount of people who are like, what are they protesting? And then there's also almost a split group that says they agree with it and some that don't. And this interests me because if we're talking about our demographic again, definitely a more liberal group because we are, you know, the millennials and especially this area. So saying that people do agree with it, I'm not surprised with, but then people saying that they don't, I think is interesting because people are, like myself, you know, they're just not for that sort of violence. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next question.
Okay.
Or
Alright,
actually,
and, we're actually going to go to Allie because Allie has to go do something else. So we got to call
Okay.
her. So we're going to call her live on HCTV right here. So if we can,
Over there.
if we can turn the cameras here. Okay, here she goes. She's actually calling us. So here we go. All right, ready? Let's see if she answers. Allie, hello. You're live on HCTV. How are you?
I'm quite all right, Jack. We're running a little behind schedule, but it's okay.
Oh, good. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the show. Thanks so much for
Yes.
talking to us. We're glad that you could join us here today. So talk a little bit about your part that you personally play in the Inspector General.
Yes. Well, I play the mayor of this town in Russia, set in 1830s. And there's a lot of corruption that basically I do, because I basically started out in just the civil service, and I like worked my way up through corruption to eventually become mayor of the town, like basically through bribes and things, and an inspector comes and I freak out and a lot of stuff happens. There's a lot of ups and downs through the show, especially near the end, and it's a comedy, and it's very current to today even though it took place in the 1830s.
So 1830s, it's in Russia, so that's kind of just putting people in a different perspective. Talk about a little bit about the process of putting the show together. When did you start the production, and give us some details on, you know, when we can come see the show.
Yes, well, the production only started about 2 months ago, so it was a much shorter rehearsal time than I'm used to, and it was also with a new director, Raphael Shklovsky, so it was a different feel, and I've never had a role like this. The production team itself is very student-driven, like always, but a good percentage of the show is made up by sophomores and freshmen, so everyone who you see in the show are basically, we're passing the torch to them, and they're going to take it over very soon. And you can see the show tonight at 7:30, tomorrow at 7:30, and Sunday, I believe, at 12:30.
Great.
You can find...
Go ahead.
You can, you can find more information on herndondrama.org. And also, if you wear a mustache to the show or just draw one onto your face, you will get priority seating so you can see my face even better.
Good. Well, that sounds good. All right, and before you go, I want two more questions. My first question is, you know, how is this show selected? Because, you know, it may be a show that people have never heard of. And also, who are some of the other characters, and who does a really great job of playing their part in the show? And we should keep our eye out open for them tonight.
Well, everyone does a fantastic job. Raleigh is hilarious. He plays Plestikov. He is the inspector or man from Petersburg. And also, Aaron Maxwell, Shivam, Caitlin, Elise Fleming, Carly Schaefer, Sophia. Everyone does such a great job. There's too many people to name. Rachel, Jordan, Michael Sassine, Gigi. Just everyone does a great job. Tim, Catherine, Jen, Kate, Katie, Mishka, my boy Sean. He has pneumonia right now and he's on stage. So watch out for him. And then oh, he's fine now? Apparently he's fine now. But yesterday we thought he had pneumonia. Anyways, yeah, not too many people are familiar with the show, but it's actually pretty popular in Russia. Our teacher went to the Moscow Art Theater, made famous by Stanislavski. He was handpicked to attend there. I have word up from Rachel. So he has close ties to the show. That's why he picked it. But the show itself is very current with today's political climate, I think. There's some parallels, but nothing to like completely focus on, if you get my drift. And that's about it. I mean, you should check out the show for yourself, see what the new Herndon theater climate is, and yeah, come out and have a good time. Maybe we can party afterwards. Jack's gonna be there tonight, right, Jack?
I am. I'm going to be there, and Sarah Campbell will be there, and I know some other people there as well. So,
Yeah.
Allie, we wish you the best of luck. I know you have to run and break a leg tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I
Thank
know our
you.
viewers are too.
Yeah, I hope to see all of you guys out there tonight, and I hope you have a great rest of your show, Jack.
Thanks. We're almost
bye,
over. We're just doing
everyone. I've
polls,
heard
so
them
finishing that up.
What?
We're doing polls.
Okay.
Good.
So,
All right.
what up,
Thank you so much,
everyone, for
Allie,
polls?
and good luck again tonight. That was Allie Casseray. She's in the show Inspector General at Herndon High School, and as she mentioned, it's tonight, Saturday night, and Sunday for a matinee performance at around 2 o'clock. So a lot to look forward to. Thank you so much for Allie to taking the time to talk with us, and I'm going to throw it back over to Emily and Mark as I rejoin them. And the question we're now talking about is, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Thanksgiving food. All right. So
My
yeah.
favorite subject, food.
Food. So yeah, a lot of people are skipping straight over Christmas this year. I mean, skipping over Thanksgiving, excuse me, and they're just going straight to Christmas. So I think that this is a very important poll question.
Yes.
So yeah, so our options were turkey, mashed potatoes, rolls, or veggies. And now veggies, I'm gonna, well, yeah, we didn't really specify, but to me, I count like the cranberry stuff as veggies because
Sure.
I don't eat it.
I guess we could have said extras or something.
Yeah.
Mark, let's
Sides.
begin with you. Thanksgiving, you're at Thanksgiving. What are you most looking forward to?
Oh, that's tough. Well, when I selected this, I wanted to be the rogue, and I picked rolls. And now I'm changing my mind of cross between either mashed potatoes or turkey. If I gonna go classical, I'd say turkey, but
You might as well say everything, Mark. You basically mentioned everything on the board.
yeah.
It's hard to pick.
I
I know
know.
it's all so good. Turkey's probably my favorite, though mashed potatoes is a very close runner-up.
Well, for me, I know I mentioned this to the group, but what I like to do is split open a roll and put in turkey and mashed potatoes and eat it like a sandwich.
With gravy.
It's so good.
Too much flavor.
Because normally the turkey can be a little dry sometimes.
That's
so
why
I
there's
like to.
gravy.
I know, so I like to like mix in the mashed potatoes and gravy and then like eat it in the roll because the rolls are so good. But for me, I chose the rolls because this house that I go to every year, this family friend, they make the best rolls. They're so good.
I have to
forget-
think. Mine is mashed potatoes with some really great gravy.
I know,
on
mashed
it.
I think
potatoes
the,
is so
the
good.
connecting.
Oh my gosh, I just
Mine here
love
is
mashed
gravy.
potatoes at any time of the year, but I really love mashed potatoes with like some Thanksgiving gravy.
Gravy
Yeah.
is the
Back in your favorite.
connecting
Gravy, just
line.
mashed potatoes. I love mashed
Could
potatoes.
gravy have been an
It's
It's just,
option?
it's just
Anything
the
with
rolls, I
potatoes in
can't-
it, I love it. I'm just potato fanatic. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if the rest of Herndon agrees with us. And what is your favorite Thanksgiving
Probably gonna
food?
say turkeys.
Potatoes, huh? I didn't spell it right.
When you have an S, you add an E.
Oh, you do? Oh, my bad. Oh, poor bad cheese. Look at that. That's so sad.
1%.
I think one person voted for that.
My
so-
goodness.
Oh man.
I know, pretty sad.
50% for rolls. Okay.
I get, but most people like turkey.
Oh,
I do
yeah.
like rolls too.
Turkey's
though.
the star
Turkey's
of the show.
okay. It's always a little dry for
Yeah,
me.
Yeah.
turkey's always a little dry, but I mean it's fine.
Well, you
And
can always have gravy and, like you said, mashed potato. You could just like toss
Gravy-
it all.
I know, we have Miss Rose-
everybody.
Oh, now
Miss
I'm
Rose
so
in the back
freaking
is
hungry.
like,
Now, anybody want gravy?
yeah, gravy's great. Anyway, Thanksgiving is awesome. Don't forget about it.
Right.
It's
But we
next
have another
week.
Thanksgiving question too. This is more of a dessert question. Let's take a look. Favorite pie, Mark?
Apple. You can never go
Apple.
wrong with any apple pie.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's like-
Okay. So cream for this poll what meant like
Custard.
meringue pie
Or Boston cream.
yeah, stuff like
lemon
that.
meringue. Yeah.
So those sort of alternative pies, but the more classic ones are apple, pumpkin, and pecan.
I don't do
Okay.
nuts.
Yeah.
you don't like-
I
you
don't,
don't like
I don't
pecan?
like anything nut.
Pecan is okay.
Me neither. I like peanuts,
If
but
it's
that's
like-
it.
No,
That's it.
I don't even like peanuts. I don't like Reese's
No,
peanut
no,
like
don't
you
like
don't-
nuts
so
in
you
my
can't
food.
eat-
No nuts in
yeah.
food.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're allergic or
I
just
do like
don't
peanut
it?
oil. Chick-fil-A, you know, and Five Guys.
oil
That's all
with
in peanut oil,
popcorn.
but I can't like peanut like like nuts in brownies and stuff.
don't
I
eat
don't do that.
pistachios?
I
Yes.
don't like it. No,
No, I don't really like-
it.
I've-
I don't even like Reese's peanut butter cups.
I like that,
Oh.
I
but
don't
I
like
like
those.
peanut
I can
butter.
eat pistachios
So-
all day
Anyway.
long.
Anyway, we like apple. I think it's a consensus apple
Yeah,
right here.
I almost chose pumpkin, but the thing is, the consistency of pumpkin. I mean, recently has grossed me out because I've had it so many times. It's like pumpkin puree, and it just
Does
doesn't.
pumpkin spice just like to the max this
Yeah.
time of year?
Overload, yeah, I agree. All right, let's take a look here. What is your favorite pie?
I kind of know where this is
The
going.
town of
Apple,
Herndon
isn't it?
says, whoa, look at Apple.
Apple.
Apple took a 47%.
Whether it's phones or
pumpkin 33, pecan 11, and a cream
Ew,
9.
who said pecan?
whether it's phones or pies, it's just always apple.
I'm surprised.
True.
Honestly, I was expecting because I mean, if you look at our group, like all of us said pumpkin. I mean,
Apple.
said apple, but I'm surprised that a competitive amount of people said pumpkin because that stuff is not that great
Well.
after a while.
That is that.
It's
So,
all on taste.
that is good.
Anyway, so that is it for our polls. I'm glad that we could talk about Thanksgiving a little bit. We didn't get to do that really. I mean, this wasn't a very Thanksgiving themed show, but
Yeah.
we threw
a little Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
better a little than
So,
none.
what are you thankful for, Mark? I'm just gonna ask.
Movies.
Movies.
Movies and my family.
Yes.
That's nice. I
I'm-
agree. Family. I think I would have to say
Family.
because that's just
Friends.
the best.
Yes.
All
Totally.
right. Well, that's good.
And HCTV. thankful
That's
for
right.
that.
Of
Yes,
course.
of course,
I think
HCTV.
I'm very thankful for HCTV.
I
so
know.
that's-
This is our last
that's the
Thanksgiving
gig.
here at
Oh, that's
HCTV.
true.
That's right.
That's sad. Miss Rose is sad.
All right,
We're
well, let's
all
put it up
sad.
on this full screen. Remember that you can always follow us on social media if you just never want to be disconnected from any of us at any time at Herndon Live. We're gonna play this. Anyway, remember, follow us on social media. We have 3 accounts that we keep regularly up to date. Includes our Twitter at Herndon Live, Facebook at Herndon Live, or YouTube Herndon Live. So thanks so much for all that. And
Wow, that's our
we hope
background.
to
Cool.
see you. We hope to see you very soon. And we hope you have a great Thanksgiving and have a great weekend, everybody. Good night.
Happy almost Thanksgiving.
Good night.
Drop.